Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. And Julio, we apologize all the time. Horticulturists we're using their own language that we're accustomed to. We apologize.
Yeah, we did.
It's hard enough. Botanical names, common names, regional common names. All right. So Vincent called us out. He said hybridization, right? Yeah. Hybridization. What is a hybrid? The best way to describe a hybrid is starting from the beginning. So you have a native plant, right? Native plant, it's just kind of wild, doing its own thing. Right. It's where they are either bred by a scientist in a lab or in a farm or field or in a program to make that flower bigger or different colors, or roses are probably the most popular of all, things that have been hybrided over the centuries. Mm-hmm. But it's happened. I mean, this is not new. Yeah. Hybridization is when you improve the native plant from where you start. Yep. Sound good?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I love the movement for natives. Now, natives are like bringing back the natural original plant. Right. Ugly as sin, but sorry, Maria.
Yeah, well, she's listening.
Maria at Bloomers is our native person, and that she just loves natives, and I think they're okay. And Dr. Armitage, Dr. Alan Armitage, the world-renowned, Brett's sister knows who Dr. Armitage is, that he coined a phrase called nativar. So it's where a native plant is improved to be a better, so it's a cultivar. Mm-hmm. And that's another way. A cultivar is another way of saying a hybrid.
Right, same thing.
Right, it's a different cultivar. So the cultivar is bred, and it can come from natural selection, right? Mm-hmm. We're creationists, but we believe in, that part of evolution we believe in, all right? Plants just, they go and they get better and they get resistant to other insects and diseases, and they also, have different colored flowers within their own species. But that's another show. Because what we're talking about is just the fact that hybrids are plants where, like for instance, big boy tomato plants were a hybrid. But then now there's Better Boy, and there's Big Beef, and there's Beef Master, and there's all of these other different types of tomatoes that are all hybrids. So they are improved in stages. So hybridization is that way of breeding plants to get a better plant.
There you go, boy.
Okay. Give me an example of a hybrid.
I know Dr. Durr, I guess he is a doctor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
He hybridizes hydrangeas.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
breeder. Yeah.
So you're wondering where all those hydrangeas came from, right. That they come from where, you remember that it was Endless Summer hydrangea was like the first repeat blooming, that repeat blooming hydrangea. Now, you can throw a rock in any direction, you're going to hit a repeat blooming hydrangea, but they've improved from going from a smaller flower, now they're bigger flowers, and that the amazing part of that whole trip, and we'll just talk about hydrangeas for a minute. The original hydrangea would only bloom on its old wood, which meant that it had to go over winter and it was last year's growth, and that's where the flower would come off. And so you would only get one bloom cycle in the spring. Mm-hmm. That was it. And you better not prune them. Everybody put away your shears when you were doing macrophylla hydrangeas. And that's all you would get.
That's it. Yep.
So the breeding program to make a hybrid, they went and bred two different types of hydrangeas and got a variety that would bloom on its new wood, which means new growth. See, I'm throwing around I'm sorry, horticulture can be confusing at times.
Yeah. It's a science.
Actually, it just makes us sound smart. The reality is where new wood means new growth. And that, you think about it, so the old variety would flush out, you'd get a really beautiful flower on it, and then it would be done. Now, it flushes out, you get a big beautiful flower on it, then it pushes out some more new growth, and then you get flowers again. Mm-hmm. And that's what's changed, and that was due to hybridization.
Right. Now for the gardener, right, for the
Right.
guys
Yep.
gardening, this is all about quality. You're extending the blooms,
Yep.
right, and you're getting insect resistance and all that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And people, that's why I wonder, why do people want natives? I don't get it. I want a plant that looks old, doesn't do as well, and it goes and it doesn't flower as much. And it looks kind of like one step away from being a weed. Send your hate mail to Julio Zamora, care of bloomers in the garden.
Oh, you can hear it from Maria. I know that.
Anyway, but again, hybridization is not just isolated to nursery plants. It's within everything from, like, the hottest plant going is that variegated monstera, that house plant. I mean, cuttings of that plant are selling for like $400
goodness.
on Facebook Marketplace.
Crazy.
Just pick a different plant. It's all right. It's interesting, but it's not going to get you any dates. Hey, babe, look at me. I've got a variegated monstera.
That's right.
It's like, well, never mind. I mean, a lot of our customers are college-age girls, so Julio, you never know. There might be your in.
That could be my
Enrico Suave. You're coming. Anyway, but the thing is that's hybridization, where they're just trying to make better plants. And Proven Winners has built their reputation on creating hybrids.
Yeah.
And that now their reputation is such that sometimes they bring out what they call hybrids and the plants really stink. But they have a name.
Right.
So, and to their credit, if they have a plant where it's like, it's not performing up to our standards, they'll pull it.
Yeah.
They'll pull it,
Right.
do a little bit more scientific research and trying to get it to be better. And if, like they did that when, you remember Martha Stewart way back when, showing my age, that she was promoting the Bloomstruck. It was not Bloomstruck, I take it back. It was Bloomathon lilac, where it was a repeat lilac, and then we got it, and I was like, this plant stinks. It doesn't do half of what they're saying it would do. And they pulled it and created it, and they did some work on it, and they created a better variety. Now I think you'll see it. It's Bloomathon 2, where it's a better plant. So, and they did it with knockout roses.
That's right.
When knockout roses first came out, they were single flowered roses, and then they came out with a double. And the double looks like a rose. The single was a single petal. It was nice, and it was a continual bloomer. Didn't need to be sheared like old roses did. It didn't need to be cut back. It did, and it was disease resistant, and they thought mosaic resistant, but it's not. Anyway, well, that's the holy grail right now for roses. If they can find a mosaic resistant rose, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's basically, they're improving the plant every step of the way, and it's a hybrid, and that's what hybridization does. And it's everything from vegetables to grains to you name it.
Crops.
You name it. And that we're not talking about GMOs, modified organism. That is completely different. That is completely different. Not totally supported in that, but honestly, in food production, if we can feed the world, right?
Right.
I find it hard to say, I'm not in favor of GMOs, but if we can feed starving people. But that's another show.
It is.
All right. We're going to be right back in the garden right after this.